Welcome back to PBC on Spike. Anthony Dirrell versus Sakio Vika, as you see here. Back and forth they went in their first fight, a unanimous draw that nobody likes, and so Dirrell comes back out in their second fight in August of 2014. He got his hands on that belt, and he has been hungry for that belt to be back in his hands ever since. It is time for our co-main event. Taking a look at these two, like we said, one very experienced fighter, another young and hungry fighter. They are set to go tonight in our main event. Tonight's Tale of the Tape is brought to us by Corona, who brings you the very best in boxing. 32 years old for Dirrell. Nemesapati is 21 years old. 4.5-inch reach advantage for Dirrell. Let's take it over to Ray Flores for our official introductions here at PBC.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the Hialeah Park here in Miami, Florida. Live on Spike, this is Premier Boxing Champions. The action begins with 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, wearing the blue, the black, and the yellow. His professional record, 24 wins, 17 of those coming by way of knockout against 3 losses. Fighting out of Budapest, Hungary. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Norbert Nemesapati. And across the ring, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white and the gray. Has a professional 29 wins, 23 of those coming by way of KO against 1 loss and 1 draw. Fighting out of Flint, Michigan. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former champion, Anthony "The Dog" Dirrell. And your referee in charge here to give instructions, James Waring.
Fighters, let's go, fighters. Come on, guys. Hey, everything we told you in the locker room, take yourself at all times. In case of the knockdown, go to the neutral corner here and neutral corner here. Okay, this is a low right here, guys. This is a low right here. You understand? Good luck, both of you guys. Touch glove, step back.
This super middleweight fight is taking place under the Florida rules of boxing. 3 knockdown rule is in effect. No standing 8 count. Fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. And in the case of an accidental foul, we will go to the scorecards after 4 rounds are complete. Nemesapati, Dirrell, round number 1. Here we go. Nemesapati is wearing the blue. Dirrell is wearing the white. Both fighters do have knockout power.
Dirrell is a guy, if you don't get his respect early, if you don't give him a reason to back up, man, he is vicious in those opening couple rounds.
I've always been told you never judge a book by its cover. But I hope that Nemesapati can fight a little bit because we know the dog gonna come at him tonight.
Yeah, what we're looking at, champ, when we're looking at him in the corner, he had his head down, looking at his shoes. That could be just how he mentally gets ready for a fight, but he better be up for this tonight because Anthony Dirrell, man, he always looks for the knockout early.
Yeah, Dirrell, the former WBC super middleweight champion, has a lot of experience. He also has a lot of power, but he came into this saying that, I know that this kid is trying to take everything that I've worked so hard for, but I'm not going to let some 21-year-old come in when I want to set my sights back on getting that title in my hands. This guy is just one more bump in the road. I want to quickly get past him and move on.
Seen that bite a lot of fighters, though, who weren't ready for a long, tough fight. Got to be prepared for the deep water in this fight because this kid's experienced, 21 years old, but 27 pro fights. He's been around the block.
Yeah, but what I look at mostly when I look into a fighter resume is who has he fought. And when you look at that and put that under the microscope, man, I mean, it seems like 2 different class of fighters. And if that's the case, then Dirrell should expect, and we all should expect, an impressive performance tonight, including ending with the knockout.
It's a great point, champ. Nemesapati has certainly had some cans on his record. He's fought some guys with pretty questionable records. He did stay very busy, though, in 2016, and he is on a 3-fight winning streak. He's fought all over the world in 6 different countries, so he does feel like he has the experience. I think that we can all agree, though, this is certainly a step up in competition for him tonight.
And the only opponent of note, I said in the open, Callum Smith, and he just got out-techniqued in that fight. He had a lot of power punches, ended up losing on his stool, I think, after round 6. Anthony Dirrell looking to have a similar kind of effect. Hit him with so many power punches that he breaks him down. That's how he generally fights.
And And so far, we are seeing that 4.5 reach advantage for Anthony Dirrell play a bit of a factor. Some of Nemesapati's punches are ending up a bit short.
The one thing Dirrell tends to do is he tends to move forward a lot, which can negate his range. He gets so close that the other guy can't hit him. He doesn't box that much from the outside, doesn't rely a lot on the lead hand. First to hook with it, just like that.
Nemesapati is firing back, though. To my surprise.
Yep, landed a looping left over the top. Final 10 seconds here of round number 1. And they head back to their corners. And we are just about set to go with round number 2. Anthony Dirrell, Norbert Nemesapati. This fight is happening in the super middleweight division. Potential 10 rounds for this one. Dirrell, when we spoke with him earlier this week, said he expects to finish this one early, though. He doesn't think the 21-year-old can hang with him.
You know, that can work two ways against you. I mean, if this guy finds himself here after 5, after 6, I mean, what's going through Dirrell's mind at the time? I don't know if that's going to happen, but, you know, it can be one of those effects where, hey, you start doubting your own self after a while.
Right now, he's got some confidence in his power, really going forward a lot. But what it takes from Nemesapati is, when we saw moves against Badu Jack, it's because Badu Jack was being slick with his boxing, negating the power, using frustrating techniques to kind of get in Dirrell's head. He did get frustrated and kind of lost it mentally in that fight. Nemesapati has to outbox him, make him miss in order to bring out that frustration you're talking about, John.
And like, again, that's a total different class of fighter that we're looking at right now. But I think he's doing the best with what he has right now. He's hanging in there. He's took a couple good shots, and he's just going to have to continue to fire back to get Dirrell's respect. Hey, I've taken your best shot, and I'm still here. To his credit, he's not intimidated, it doesn't seem like. Ooh, good shot.
Just as you said it, champ.
Knocked the head of Dirrell back there with that combination. And like you said, he's staying in the pocket. I mean, he does have a lot of experience for just being 21 years old, as I mentioned earlier. He's been pro since he was 16, started off as a K1 kickboxing amateur champion, and then progressed over to boxing because he just realized that his punches were better. But Dirrell, he continues to press forward as well. He took a couple of big shots there, but he's firing right back too.
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Remember, he's used to going into other guys' backyards. He's used to having to travel to fight. So the big lights, being up against a name who's supposed to win, you know, that's been his career so far.
And again, you can see the demeanor of Dirrell. He's really not concerned or worried about his power. He's walking straight in with reckless abandon. He's just trying to really overpower this guy with this aggressiveness.
Nemesapati hasn't gotten his respect yet in terms of his ability to back Dirrell off. That hasn't happened yet. He's taken some good punches, gotten his respect that way, but hasn't backed him off with anything solid.
Dirrell said he's been working a lot on his strength and conditioning leading up to this fight. He really wants to be able to hit harder. That's been a big focus, and he's landing some nice big shots right now. Nemesapati pushed up against the ropes.
Nemesapati has to get out of there. He can't sit there and stay with his back against the rope. It's in his best interest to keep this fight in the center of the ring.
He is rocked. I don't think he's thinking clearly right now. Eating some good punches.
Final seconds here of the second round, and Anthony Dirrell ends round number 2 with a big one. Here you see some of the highlights, though. Big uppercut there from Anthony Dirrell. Round number 3 is coming up next. And there you see Andre Dirrell, the brother of Anthony Dirrell. Very close family. He's in the crowd right now screaming his support, Jimmy.
Helps to have somebody in there, not just to support you, but giving you the technical advice. His brother, an excellent boxer in his own right.
Here we go. It's round number 3. Nemesapati is wearing the blue trunks. Dirrell is wearing the white. And Dirrell's big swing and a miss.
You see the outset from the beginning. Land big shots, get this guy out of here. He's not here to box tonight. One of the problems I think Nemesapati's been having is he's boxing from the waist up. He's throwing punches, taking punches. We haven't seen a lot of angling and not a lot of footwork. He's been right in front of Dirrell, who so far has shown to be the harder puncher.
Like you said, he stepped 2 or 3 steps up from where he used to fight at for his competition, and he's trying to figure it out. And while these big bombs are being dropped on him, so he's in a bad spot right now. But again, if he gets to round 4 and 5, I think Dirrell's going to start questioning why is he still here.
Countdown to Ortiz versus Son. 2 MMA icons are preparing to meet in the Bellator cage January 21st live on Spike. Countdown to the epic matchup when Tito Ortiz battles Chael Sonnen. Countdown to Ortiz versus Sonnen premieres next on Spike.
Stop! Don't grab the rope.
Nemesapati seems very gun-shy. Like he's gotten a couple of shots off that have landed, and you've seen Dirrell's head get pushed back a couple of times. But it seems in those moments right there where Dirrell is pausing, Nemesapati isn't taking that opportunity to fire on his own.
When you talk about game plan, which you always ask a guy, me, what I wonder, cage side or ringside, is, well, what did you train to do? What did you come out here to do in terms of your offense? If you come out here to let an opponent punch me and then see what happens if I can react, you're never going to win a fight that way. I want to see what Nemesapati has to offer in terms of his initiation, his offense. We haven't seen a lot of it yet.
Nemesapati looks like the best thing he got going. He has tough skin, man. He's still in here trying, giving it 100%. And he's landing some shots. And believe it or not, he drew first blood. Dirrell has a bloody nose right now, surprisingly. That's it.
Man, good body shot.
Ripping those hurts.
Bring it up.
Another good one. Heard that one in the crowd. 2 body shots in a row.
And Dirrell is starting to pour it on now, and those body shots are taking effect. You can see that Nemesapati is keeping his arms a little bit tighter.
Hands are coming down. He's hurt, shaking his head.
Final 10 seconds here of round number 3. Anthony Dirrell continuing to pour it on. This has been a good round for him. And as you see some of his handiwork here, this is a big right hand from Dirrell. Ripping it there, big uppercut. Welcome back to Hialeah Race Park in Miami. This is PBC on Spike. Norbert Nemesapati, Anthony Dirrell, on to round number 4. Here we go. Nemesapati is wearing the blue, Dirrell is wearing the white.
And what I'm interested in seeing this round is how fast Dirrell starts, because I think he really had Nemesapati hurt at the end of that last round. Good body shots. A lot of times you want to test, did the guy get everything back?
Well, you know what? He started landing those clean shots, and he just let it come instead of forcing it with the big shots over looping shots. He needs to use his skill right now and then get this guy out of here. And that's behind a good crisp jab and throwing combination punches. Same thing applies.
Doesn't matter what level, champ. It's all the same. Dirrell right now almost daring Nemesapati to hurt him. He's just walking forward. Not a lot of head movement.
Yeah, and you hear the
He's
corner
there to be
of
hit.
Dirrell saying, keep backing him up, keep backing him up. And that's one thing we've seen so far throughout these 3.5 rounds is that Dirrell is just walking down Nemesapati.
Yeah, no respect for the punching power of Nemesapati, but Nemesapati hasn't given him a reason to back off. They won't back off automatically. Nobody will.
And the thing about it, Dirrell fights everybody like this.
Yes, yeah, everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, how you fight.
Stop, break clean, stop. Break clean, guys, break clean, let's go.
Nice jab hook combination.
And he's pouring on more. That big right hand connected to him.
Man, you got to give a guy credit. He's taking some big bombs.
Dirrell really pouring it on now. Nemesapati is surviving, but barely. He stumbles backwards. Fires off a shot there, but eats 4 in the process.
There are times when guts just makes a beating more interesting. He's staying in just enough to take punches.
It don't look like his corner, Nemesapati's corner, is concerned one bit.
No push him, do not push him.
We keep talking about the toughness of Nemesapati, that's never a good thing. When the commentators are talking about how tough you are, how big your heart is, it's not good.
That means you're taking a lot of punishment.
Still throwing back though. Just don't know how much power any of that have on it.
He's landing right hands, but there's just nothing behind him. This round so far has been target practice for Dirrell.
Another nice uppercut from Dirrell, sneaks through. He's just toying with him.
Yeah.
Final 10 seconds of round number 4. This has been all about Anthony Dirrell so far. The referee was over in the corner of Norbert Nemesapati, and he was very sternly telling the corner, as well as Nemesapati himself, he can't keep taking punches like this, because right now Dirrell is just pouring it on. The referee obviously has the ability to stop the fight, and he said the way that he was acting, it looks like he's pretty close to doing that.
It's getting close.
Round number 5, here we go. Nemesapati in the blue, Dirrell in the white, and Dirrell again fires a big right hand and connects.
Obviously, we don't know what the corner's saying. They're from Budapest as well, but this is where I would be saying, hey, you show me something or I'm stopping this fight. Show me you can hang with this guy or I'm stopping this fight. You do what we trained or I'm stopping this fight.
But that's not the kind of knockout Dirrell wants.
Yeah, he wants a clean one.
Just ripped that huge right hand to the body, and it actually, for a moment, buckled the legs of Nemesapati. Like, that's how you know that strength and conditioning that Dirrell was talking about has been working, because he's ripping those body shots enough where it's really hurting Nemesapati.
Now, Nemesapati, 24 wins, 17 knockouts. He's shown power before. We haven't seen an inkling of it in this fight. Hasn't been able to back Dirrell off. Hasn't been able to outbox him, and when he lands the right hand, it hasn't hurt him.
Well, Jimmy, when you talk about going up levels in competition, this is clearly a huge step up for him. And when you punch somebody square in the face and they just keep walking towards you, that is demoralizing.
Terrible feeling.
Again, I mean, Nemesapati is going to give him some work. He's gotten 5 rounds in so far. But how can we judge Dirrell and say he's ready to take that step to the next level with the championship shot with a guy like,
DeGale or Body Jack? Exactly.
Right. I mean, we still need to see him in there with a contender and beat somebody of note.
Flip side of the coin, my friend. Having a fight like this that you're winning, but it's not going to convince a lot of people. That's the flip side of the coin.
Yeah, a win is a win. But at the same time, to make yourself that next hot commodity, you need to be somebody of note. Some type of challenger, contender.
And more than anything right now, the referee is watching the eyes of Nemesapati to see if he is still in this fight, because, as we mentioned a moment ago, he did warn the corner that he is close to stopping it. Look at this, Dirrell is just toying with him. Hands behind his back.
Shades of what fighter that you fought? Little Roy Jones Jr. there.
Roy Jones has done that before, but I mean,
in the Kelly fight, got a knockout that way.
I mean, like I said, it's okay to do it with guys like this, but do it at the top level. I mean, you can't showboat with a guy like this that brings nothing to the table. I mean, respect the game. Get the guy out of there and then do that. You know what I mean?
Strong words, champ. Love it.
The guy hasn't been dropped. He hasn't been unconscious or hurt like that.
Hasn't been down.
Shot.
Yep.
I mean, let's finish the show then.
James Waring, the referee, a standout fighter in his own right. I think a cruiserweight champ in the 80s. He knows what it's like to be in there. And, man, like you said, he looks like a hawk looking at Nemesapati, looking for those eyes to roll back.
He's a big cruiserweight.
Yeah, he's a big man.
Final seconds here of round number 5. Here's a huge left hand from Dirrell that also connects, followed by a right. We're coming back with round number 6. Watch full Bellator and PBC fights on the Spike app on iOS, Android, and now available on Roku. We are on to round number 6. Anthony Dirrell, Norbert Nemesapati, and so far it has been all Dirrell. Referee in between rounds again talking to the corner of Nemesapati, saying, hey, he's got to show something. Then he also commented to the commission that his eyes look clear still. So, I mean, like you guys mentioned in the last round, he hasn't been dropped yet. He's still in this fight.
And he's not cut. I mean, he's not in the fight because I don't think he can win enough rounds to win the fight. But they're thinking about giving him a mercy stoppage which that's not really going to do anything for Dirrell. I mean, we want to see this guy on his back. If you're going to showboat like that, let's get this guy out of there. He shouldn't be here anyway after 6 rounds.
But to Waring's point, I mean, his eyes look clear. He doesn't look that beat up.
And the ref said he was taking a lot of shots. Yes, he's taking a lot of shots.
But I see why Waring has let it continue. That's what I'm saying.
And he's still throwing back.
It's hard to justify a stop.
Yeah, it's hard to justify tops off that. That's very true.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Another good right hand.
Those connected and again buckled the legs of Nemesapati. And again, he's just standing against the ropes, trying to regain his composure. But in the process, Dirrell landing more big shots.
I think Dirrell wants that clean shot, but I think if he just overwhelmed him with punches, he can force the referee to stop this fight.
I don't think it would take much right now. Get him against the ropes, land a few.
Stay right there and let your hands go.
Yeah, he seems to back off, reset, and let Nemesapati get back in the fight a little bit.
He wants that clean knockout.
He wants that one and done kind of shot.
There's 2 different classes of fighters. I mean, you see that as obvious. When you got a guy walking in like that, with reckless abandon, not even worried about anything coming back.
Yeah, that's the sign right there.
That's why Nemesapati is still in the fight, because he throws back.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stop the fight when a guy is in there throwing back, fully conscious.
It shows how much lack of respect that Dirrell has for the punching power of Nemesapati, though, because he does have that 4.5-inch reach advantage. All he has to do to avoid those punches is just take another half step back. He's not even taking the time to do that because he's just willing to absorb the punishment.
Not doing that at all, keeping his hands by his nipples, not even bringing them back to his chin.
But we know he could never do that with top-notch super middleweights.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. He's going to have to tighten that up if he planning on stepping up that ladder and really challenging his champion.
And Nemesapati threw a nice little combination there. Those landed. Dirrell not phased by it, but Nemesapati is still very game. He's throwing a lot of punches. Round number 7 is coming up next. And the referee is coming over right now. The commission is having a talk with Nemesapati's corner, and they're talking about stopping the fight. The corner's saying to stop it as well, and the referee has waved it off. Nemesapati's corner is saying that is it, and Anthony Dirrell is victorious tonight. Referee stoppage.
No surprise there. Had been taking a beating, not tactically getting back in it. No real surprise.
Big, dominant performance from Dirrell. Take us through this, Jimmy. He was landing clean shots all the way through this fight.
This could be any moment of any round. It was all power punches. It was all Dirrell. Give credit to Nemesapati for staying in there and throwing back with Dirrell. Target practice tonight.
Yeah, very aggressive, walking straight through the guy. And, didn't have to worry about anything coming back. I mean, he had his way tonight.
And he had it from the waist up, meaning he was landing good body shots. He was landing the uppercut right to the head. Everything he wanted to throw, he threw. A little bit of the Roy Jones there, leaping left hook. A little bit of the clowning there, but you can do that when you're as far ahead as he was.
And welcome back to PBC on Spike, coming to you from Miami. Anthony Dirrell, Norbert Nemesapati just wrapped up, and we have ourselves the official decision. Here's Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 59 seconds of the 6th round for your winner by technical knockout, Anthony "The Dog" Dirrell.
So the dog was just too much tonight for the 21-year-old contender who wanted to come in and make a statement, but instead, Dirrell did a great job going in there and just out-muscling the 21-year-old.